The Sony FE 28-70mm f3.5 to 5.6. 5 reasons why this is far more than just a kit lens. The Sony 28-70 has been the standard zoom kit lens for Sony for over 5 years, and in that time its unassuming form and features have seen it resigned by its premium peers as merely a kit lens. But after spending a little time with it recently in our review of the Sony a7 II, I wanted to shine a light firmly on this lens again. On the used market, you can pick up the 28-70 for around 150 quid for one in decent condition. And for that money, you're getting a pretty competent variable aperture zoom lens. But what are my 5 reasons why this is far more than just a kit lens? First up is its solid and versatile picture quality. The image quality that you get from the 28-70 is pretty good. For sure, it's not pin sharp in the corners, and yes, there is some issues with distortion, but it definitely delivers a perfectly adequate quality of image. Alongside this is the general versatility of this lens. Being a 28-70mm zoom lens, it covers pretty much all the focal ranges you'll want for video, especially with vlogging, and it does so with aplomb. Number 2 on my list is the Bokeh, and for a cheap kit lens that is only f3.5 when wide open, you actually get a really attractive bokeh from this lens. This is down to the fact that this lens has 7 rounded aperture blades, and of course can take full advantage of that full frame depth of field sensor that this lens will inevitably sit in front of. Now, if the specs behind the bokeh don't impress you, then surely the aesthetic quality of it will, because for a slow budget kit lens, it's genuinely impressive. The third on this list is the build quality, and the build quality of the 28-70 is genuinely impressive. In fact, I'd say it's right up there with some of the premium lenses we've used. It has a weather-sealed internal zooming mechanism, which just really adds to the value that this lens represents. In all honesty, it far outstrips everything else in this price point, and I wouldn't be surprised if it's the type of lens that follows you through multiple camera upgrades. Both the zoom and focus ring feel really great to use, and just genuinely, it feels really premium in hand. Now, next up on my list is the rock solid image stabilization, or optical steady shot as Sony call it. Whatever you want to call it, it is truly impressive with this lens, and actually imperative for any video shooters out there, especially those shooting in that handheld vlog style. Decent image stabilization is absolutely central to getting decent quality video. Of course, decent image stabilization isn't something particularly special in slower kit lenses, but the OSS system from Sony in the 28-70 is particularly impressive and reliable. Fifth and final on my list is the value that this lens represents. Of course, all kit lenses represent pretty good value, which is why they're sold as part of a kit. But that being said, I just genuinely feel that for the price point of the 28-70, you're getting something that far outperforms its similarly priced competitors. If you're new to video, it is the perfect lens to learn with. And if you're a seasoned pro, it represents a budget, simple and relatively unobtrusive bit of kit that renders great results without too much heavy lifting. So for sure, the Sony 28-70 has some real shortcomings, especially when we compare it to its more premium alternatives. From those soft edges and light drop off in the corners to that slower than ideal maximum aperture. But in reality, we have to look at this lens in its own right, and with that, it represents the perfect budget and versatile lens for Sony full framers. So for more information on this lens, there's some links below, and whilst you're down there, why not consider subscribing to the channel, or even signing up to the Filmmakers Club on Patreon. That's been my grab and go review. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.